Hey guys, in this video we're going to be finding the volume of spheres and hemispheres. Before we begin, I want to help you memorize the formula for the volume of a sphere so that when you take your EOG and they don't give you the formula, you already know it. So first I want you to connect the 2D shape that you think of when you think of a sphere. Hopefully you thought of a circle. Now I want you to think specifically of a quarter, and I want you to spin that quarter in your mind. When I think about a quarter spinning, to me, that quarter spinning looks like a sphere. So I'm trying to build this connection between a sphere and a circle, because the first thing we're going to write for our formula is we're going to write the area of a circle, pi r squared. And then from there, what we're going to do is we're going to think of the saying. The saying goes like this: give me the 411. You might have heard of this before. It's not being used as often as it used to be. It's more rare now. So hopefully you've heard of that. Give me the 411 means give me the information. Give me the lowdown. What's going on? Now, instead of saying give me the 411, I want you to think give me the 433. So now we're going to change our formula by writing 4, crossing out the 2 and putting a 3, power of 3, and then we divide by 3. So this is the formula for the volume of a sphere. So this is the part where we're thinking of give me the 411, and then we'll say, the 433. So 433. It's important that you realize that we don't actually have a power of 2 here like you normally do in the formula for the area of a circle. This is going to be a 3. Now that, hopefully, we have it memorized or close to memorized, we're going to start filling it in. So the R stands for the radius of the sphere. So the radius is from the center of the sphere to the outside of the sphere. So the radius they actually already give us in this problem. It's 13. Next, I'm going to type into the calculator 13 cubed, and we get a result of 2,197. From here, I'm going to multiply 4 times 3.14. So I'm going to use 3.14 instead of pi. I don't normally like to do that because I like to be more exact. But in the problems I'm asking you to do, the answer key that's attached, they use 3.14 for pi. So we're going to practice using 3.14 for pi. 4 times 3.14 times 2,197. I got a product of 27,594. Then decimal, and then we have 32 hundredths. From here, I'm going to take that value and divide by 3, and the value that I get is 9,198.106667. But in the examples you're given, they ask you to have 2 decimal places, so we're rounding to the hundredths place. So we get 9,198.11 cubic yards, and that is the volume of this sphere. Let's go on to the next problem. All right, the volume formula, 4 pi r cubed divided by 3. Remember, we start with pi r squared, and then we think, give me the 433. And then we cross out this power of 2 that we had written, and write instead a power of 3 on the r, and then write down the 4 and the 3. And now we can fill in the radius. Well, they don't give us the radius, they give us the diameter. So what we need to do is we need to split that in half. So when I split an odd number in half, I think of the even number that is right below the number that I'm given. So the even number just below 19 is 18. So I split 19 into 18 plus 1, and then half of 18 is 9, and half of 1 is 1/2. So 9.5 is half of 18. So our radius is 9.5 because the radius is just halfway across the sphere. Then I'm going to type into my calculator 9.5 cubed, and I got a result of 857.375, which, if you remember memorizing at the beginning of the year, that's equal to 3/8. We continue. From here in our problem, we're going to be practicing using 3.14, so you're ready for the examples that I gave you. Also, a lot of times on the EOG, they'll ask you to use 3.14 instead of the pi symbol. So I type into my calculator 4 times 3.14 times 857.375, and I get a product of 10,768.63, and then I divide that by 3, and I get a quotient of 3,589.54333. Whoops. But they have me round this to the nearest hundredths place, so that's why there's only 2 decimal places listed here. And this is the volume of a sphere that has a diameter of 19 inches. We move on to our final problem. Now we're finding the volume of A, and I need to adjust the title. This is now a hemisphere. So I'm grabbing a pen. Sorry about that. Sometimes it disappears on me. This is a hemisphere, and I don't know if you were taught this already, but hemi, that prefix means half. So it's half of a sphere, a hemisphere. So all we're going to do is we're going to take our formula, and let's see if you can write it from memory. So pause the video and try to write it from memory. So I hope that when you paused it, you started with the area of a circle, pi r squared, and then you thought, give me the 433, and you wrote 4, cross out the 2, make it a 3, and then divide by 3, so the 433. So there's our volume formula. But now, since it's a hemisphere, we have to remember to take this volume, and then at the very end, we're going to divide by 2. Let's go ahead and come up with the radius. The radius is half of the diameter, and half of 5 is 2.5. So I'm going to type into my calculator 2.5 cubed. I use that caret symbol to cube it, and I get 15.625. Remember, in these examples, they're having us use 3.14 for pi. So now I'm going to type into my calculator 4 times 3.14 times 15.625, and the product I get is 196.25, and then I'm going to divide that by 3. So divide that by 3, and I get 65, a quotient of 65.416, and the 6 is repeating. And the final step is that I need to split this in half, because this value represents the volume of the sphere, but I only have half of a sphere. I have a hemisphere, so I have to divide this value by 2. And when I divide it by 2, I get a quotient of, oh no, I wrote 65.42, but I should have written 32.71 is what it rounds to, and this is cubic yards.